Turning point 4, which is at 3/4 of the movie, so we're 3/4 in, the major setback. Talk about that.
Yeah. The hero of the story has been pursuing this visible goal from the beginning of Act 2. Okay, once they have this finish line that they must cross, that your audience and your readers rooting for them to achieve by the end of the story. All the way through, as they pursued this, the obstacles have been getting bigger and bigger. Finally, your hero, at the 3/4 mark if it's a screenplay, or somewhere around that if it's a novel, is going to encounter an obstacle they can't overcome. It's going to be something that defeats them, and it must seem to your readers or to your audience like all is lost. Like now, oh my God, there's no way they're going to succeed at achieving this goal. And the hero gives up because their plan is out the window and they have no idea how they're going to achieve the goal now. So if you take a movie like Titanic, what happens is the ship is sinking, and finally it gets so scary and the obstacles are so great when Cal, her jerk of a boyfriend, comes along and says, I found a lifeboat for you. She gets on the lifeboat, even though she knows it means leaving Jack, and we all realize if she leaves Jack, the Leo DiCaprio character, on the ship and she gets on the lifeboat, all is going to be lost. Okay, so that's the major setback there. Or it's in a recent movie, a really sort of tight thriller called Don't Breathe that came out a few weeks ago before this video was made. It's a very simple thing. They're trying to rob a blind guy of some money, and the blind guy knows they're in his house and have locked him inside. So it's kind of a haunted house movie, but no ghosts. It's just a very intense, closed-in, claustrophobic thriller. And I believe, if I remember it correctly, what happens at the major setback is one of the main characters gets killed by the blind guy, and now there's only one person left and she has to somehow escape. So it seems like there's no way of getting out of this situation. Okay? When that happens, the hero is going to retreat. They're not only going to try and go back to where they were living at the setup, but they're also on the inner journey level going to retreat into their identity. They're going to go back into that protective persona where they were emotionally shut down at the beginning of the story. They're saying to themselves, I knew this was stupid. I knew I never should have gone for this. I shouldn't have opened up. I shouldn't have tried to find true love. I shouldn't have tried to take this emotional risk. You see what happens. If you're writing a love story or romantic comedy, the two lovers must break up at this point. You have to split them apart, and the hero will go back and say, I'm never going to fall in love again. Hitch is a good example of that because the truth comes out. She finds out he's really the date doctor. She assumes, the Eva Mendes character, assumes that Will Smith's character has been lying to her. They break up, and he gives up. He says to Albert, I got nothing. It's stupid to fall in love. You can get past it. I'm not going to jump out of a plane without a parachute. And so the character will retreat back into that safe emotional place, but it's not a fulfilling place. That's the rule. They can't have what they want, and they can't live a fulfilled, evolved existence if they stay in that identity. And once we have experienced our essence, like these characters have as they move closer to the goal, going back fully into our identity doesn't really cut it anymore because we can't pretend like that's who we truly are. We've actually had the experience in real life and in story form of living a more fulfilled existence. So after that retreat, the hero is going to realize, doesn't matter what it costs, I've got to keep going after what I want. I've got to be that courageous. And then they go into what I call the final push. And that's stage 5 of the 6 stages, where they put everything on the line in order to achieve that outer motivation. They're either going to win or they're going to die trying. And the climax is just the scene which must resolve that question. They either win or they lose. You can't be ambiguous about it. If they win, it means they're fully in their essence. If they aren't fully in their essence, they must lose. And then the final stage is simply what I call the aftermath. It's the after picture, the before and after picture the story creates. The before picture was a hero fully in his identity. The after picture is a hero fully in his or her essence, reaping the rewards of having found the courage to complete that arc.